On the 26th of August 2024, I met Chris Jericho and his band Fozzy. I paid a VIP ticket in London and I went to see his show. So when meeting Chris Jericho, I asked him 2 questions, and I also told him about Eddie Guerrero, that I went to his grave and that I wrote him a poem, and I would love for Chris Jericho to read it and get back to me and let him know what he thinks. Chris Jericho never got back to me, but I know that night I tweeted out to him, and I think it was just him liking all of the tweets that people tweeted him about what a great show he put on. And indeed it was a great rock show. But I never heard back from Chris Jericho of what he thought about my Eddie Guerrero poem. Don't know if he read the poem that I included in the packet, along with a New Testament Bible. After a long time of not hearing back from Chris Jericho, after writing letters to like WWE, AEW, his rock band, anything I could get hold of, I gave up hope. I didn't think he would ever watch my YouTube video of my Eddie Guerrero poem, where I went to his grave and did a whole Eddie Guerrero series on my YouTube channel. So eventually something surprised me and he got Cameo, and that's where I paid Chris Jericho to do a cameo of what he thinks about my Eddie Guerrero poem and to share a Eddie Guerrero memory. Chris Jericho joined Cameo, and on the 2nd of December 2025, he gave me 2 videos. One video he forgot to include the memory, so I had to repay him to do it again.
When you hear them, you know.
Yeah, we know.
Who would Fozzy duet with? Who would you feature with? What band?
What?
Or what solo artist would you duet with?
Would you want to go on a tour with?
No, duet. You
Duet
with
with
a band.
Oh.
If you
I don't
could team
know.
up with a band, who would it be?
Probably wouldn't team up with a band, maybe a singer or a
Yeah, that.
guitar player or something like that, maybe.
Like the Metallica.
I guess it all depends on what fits the song best. You know what I
Alright,
mean?
cool.
Do you ever get the guys from Pod of Thunder on the track?
For who?
Oh, the guys from Pod of Thunder, would you get them on the track?
That's funny, right? Well, have you heard Chris sing? It's not all that great.
Yeah, he's a great guitar player.
Chris, you're a Christian. Would you like do a Christian song, rock song, like Skillet, like Christian
I
rock
think we have
song,
some songs that have kind of,
religious, you know?
you say religious.
Yeah, drinking with Jesus. You just have
positive
Yeah.
vibes. But
Judas, yeah.
I don't think we'd ever do like a full
Alright, cool.
praise God song.
By the way, I wrote Eddie Guerrero a poem and I left it on his grave. I tweeted it to you, and here's a copy because I want to give that to you. It's a letter for you to read in your free time.
Thank you so much, man.
And
Appreciate that.
please read my poem when you're free.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Get back to me.
Good. Thank you.
Awesome, guys. Perfect. Now, last question.
Hey Matthew, Chris Jericho here. That's so cool that you wrote a poem for Eddie and that you went to his grave to read it out. I've never been to his grave before. I know it's in Phoenix. And the last time we were there, Dean Malenko went to visit him, but I didn't go. So I have to get there and check it out. And I will watch your poem on YouTube as well, paying tribute to Eddie Guerrero. Yeah, man, that's really, really cool. Eddie was a great guy. Gosh, I met Eddie in 1993 when I was 22 years old in Mexico. And when I first got to Mexico, my boss, Paco Alonso, put Hector Guerrero with me as kind of like a mentor to kind of help me get around, because we had to take care of our own travel and, you know, get to the shows on the bus and all that sort of thing. So Hector was kind of with me quite a bit. I had heard about Eddie Guerrero. I'd heard about how nice of a guy he was. And Eddie was working for AAA and I was working for CMLL. So finally Eddie got there and Hector said, "You want to go visit my brother?" And I was like, "Sure." He'd come up to his room. So I go up to his room and I knock on the door and open the door, and Eddie's standing there in just his underwear and he's loaded. He's really drunk. And he's like, "Hey, who are you?" And I'm like, I'm wrestling here. He goes, "What's your name?" I said, "Corazon de Leon." It means Lionheart. He goes, "I know it means Lionheart. I speak Spanish. And I didn't mean your wrestling name. What's your real name?" And he was kind of really mean to me and very kind of angry and yelling, and he was quite drunk. Eddie the Giant is what we called him in later years when he got that way. And And so he ended up passing out, and I kind of left the room. And the next day I was eating breakfast downstairs in the restaurant of the hotel, the Plaza Madrid in Mexico City. And Eddie walked downstairs and he said, "Hey, I just want to apologize." I said, "For what?" He goes, "I don't know. But I know I was really drunk, and I'm sure I said something stupid, so I want to apologize." And I was like, "Sit down, man." And that's where we started being friends, 1993. So, all the years that we followed each other from country to company to company, country to country. He's my favorite tag team partner in a tag team that never got a chance to really go as far as we should have in WCW. The North and South connection was one of our names. A and Way is another one of our names. A, of course, being Canadian. Way being a Mexican slang, Spanish slang. So just a great, great guy and so many amazing stories. I remember Eddie playing a water bottle, air guitaring on a water bottle when we were in the front row in Sturgis watching Leonard Skinner. There was the stage, the photo pit, and like 40,000 people in a field behind us, and we were up there in the little stage area, and Eddie was playing the water bottle, air guitar, just little things like that. Of course, loved wrestling him. And I regret the fact in WWE we never really had too many matches. We were always on different shows, but in WCW we had a lot of matches. So yeah, just a great guy, and I miss him every day. So I will check out your poem, Matthew, and Merry Christmas, man. Happy holidays. Follow your dreams, do great things, and God bless you and your family. And thanks for having me remember Eddie, a great, great guy. Hey, Matthew. I really enjoyed your poem. It's kind of almost a story, a homage, I think, as much as a poem, but it was really well done. It was cool to see that you went to Eddie's gravesite, which I had never seen before, so I appreciate getting to see that. But you're right, Eddie did steal our hearts and your childhood, and in a lot of ways my childhood as well, because he was, I met him, like I said, when I was 22 years old, so I thought it was really cool that you flew over from the UK to read your poem for him in Phoenix, and the birds were chirping. That was cool. It's like they were listening to your story. But it was great how you mentioned Chavo and Kurt and Rey Mysterio and all that, all the great memories. Really well done. Very cool, and it was cool that you got to do it at his grave. So thanks, Matthew. Now I know what his gravestone looks like, which I never knew before. So God bless you, man, and very, very heartwarming and great job. Hope you're doing good. Viva la raza!